Today I'm talking about Jeremy Bentham's Act Utilitarianism and why it might not be a good way to justify actions. Okay, so what is Act Utilitarianism? Act Utilitarianism is about bringing the most amount of happiness to the most amount of people. So if something brings about the most amount of happiness to the most amount of people, it will in this way be considered either moral or good, and that you should do the action. People that follow Act Utilitarianism are called hedonists, and hedonists are people that seek pleasure above all else. One example of utilitarianism, Act Utilitarianism, is if you have a train and there's two tracks, and on one track there's 5 people, and on another track there's just one person. In Act Utilitarianism, they would say that the right thing to do is to pull the lever to make it go to the 5 people as opposed the other way around. They would say that it would only make sense if you pulled the lever to make it go to the single person as opposed to 5 people, because 5 people's happiness is more than one person's happiness. However, Act Utilitarianism might seem like a good idea right now, but it may not be. This is because Act Utilitarianism can be used to justify almost anything. One example of this would be that Act Utilitarianism could be used to justify group sexual assault, because if you have 5 people doing the sexual assault and one person involved that is not, then you have 5 people getting pleasure, happiness from that act as opposed to that one person that isn't. So therefore, Act Utilitarianism would be acceptable. Therefore, this would be acceptable through Act Utilitarianism, and that's one reason, one explanation why. Because in most people's heads that wouldn't be acceptable, but through Act Utilitarianism that would be, because you're bringing about the most amount of happiness to the most amount of people. And this is one reason why it falls short, and one reason why it has been adapted into raw utilitarianism. And if you found this video useful or helpful, just leave in the comments and I could do a whole video on raw utilitarianism and the changes that were made. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way, and it's just a brief overview of what Act Utilitarianism is and how it's used.